Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Our Minds 2020 podcast with your host, me, Jemima. Hope you guys have been keeping safe, you've been keeping well. Who's ready for Christmas this Friday? Do you know what? I don't quite know if I'm excited for Christmas this year or not. Usually every year I'm really excited, but this year, I don't know. Obviously I'm not going to be doing what I usually do. So that's taken a bit of the excitement away. But, nevertheless, I'm still going to be out here celebrating the good Lord's birthday. But anyway, today's episode is entitled Showing Your Happy Face. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, let's get into it. You know, when you're going through a depressive episode, or you've been suffering from depression for a really long time, or you are feeling super uber anxious about, it could be anything, test results, waiting for a reply from your best friend or your partner about whatever it is. And whatever it is that you are going through privately, you still need to show up in society. And again, what I mean by that is you have to go to work. You have to sit with your work colleagues, sit in a meeting, do a presentation at work. You probably have arranged to meet some friends for lunch or dinner or drinks, or, you're coming back home and you're going to be with your kids or your partner or whatever it is, but you have to show up. And it's that classic situation of inside, you're absolutely dying. You just don't want to be where you're currently at physically. Like, you don't want to be at work. You don't really want to be out with your friends. And let's face it, sometimes, because it's happened to me in the past, sometimes you don't actually want to be with your partner. You just kind of want to isolate yourself and be in your room and either cry your eyes out or overthink to quite literally your brain combusts. And inside, like I said, you just feel wretched, you feel horrid. But when you meet your work colleagues, your boss, your friends or whoever, you need to show up and you need to put on your happy face. And you need to smile and you need to laugh at their jokes. And you need to present yourself and make your voice seem so chipper and happy, just so that those people don't look at you weird, don't judge you. They don't think to themselves, Jemima seems a bit odd. So you show your happy face and you pretend, even though you're dying inside, you pretend that everything is okay. Now, those of you who listened to the episode last week where I was talking about, I was going through, or I have been for a while, been going through a depressive episode. I feel a bit better today, so I'm really grateful for that. I think I mentioned in that episode that weekend I was going to be going out with some friends, and we were going to go to this restaurant in Selfridges. Those of you who are not from the UK, Selfridges is how can I describe it? It's a luxury department store in central London. And inside Selfridges, they have this really swanky restaurant called the Brasserie of Light. And for the longest time now, I really wanted to go to the Brasserie of Light. So when we came out of lockdown, I said to my best friend, yo, let's go have lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, even if it's coffee, let's go to the Brasserie of Light. Tried to book a table, couldn't. He, God bless him, being a tiny bit flaky in terms of when he'll next be free to go. Anyway, dragging out a story. Basically, I went there last weekend with some of my girlfriends, and we all got dressed up, put our makeup on, got our heels on, and I didn't really enjoy myself. And I didn't enjoy myself because inside I was dying. And it was nothing that any of my friends had done. And to be fair, they had no idea how I was feeling, because guess what? I was showing my happy face. I was laughing and joking and taking pictures of them and taking group pictures and discussing when our next meetup was going to be and when we're going to see each other, what we're doing for Christmas. We're talking about boyfriend trouble. Well, not boyfriend. Well, no, not really boyfriend trouble, man trouble, dating stories and what have you. And inside, I just kind of felt dead. And I thought to myself, here I am, sitting in this really lovely restaurant that I've wanted to go to for such a long time. I'm with some really great girls of mine, because we've recently become friends. And I'm all dressed up. And I thought to myself, I've kind of got a social event, going on in the calendar right now. But I was dead inside. And by the end of the night, when I came off from the train and I was walking home, I just thought to myself, I feel absolutely exhausted. And I felt exhausted because for the whole, how long were we together that evening? About 5 hours, I think it was. That whole time, I was just putting on a front. I was laughing, like I said, laughing with them, joking with them, even though I was dying inside. And it's not the first time that it's happened to me. I've done it with friends before, 100% I've done it with work colleagues as well. And it's like, obviously I know everybody's experiences, they're completely different. But for me, when I've spent all day at work and I'm putting on a front and I'm making it look like, oh yeah, everything is fine, and then I get back home, I'm telling you, my brain feels like I have run the London Marathon, which is 26 miles in case you didn't know, and then I've gone off to the gym and I've done a hardcore 1 hour session with a flipping WWE personal instructor, wrestler, trainer person, if that even makes sense. Like, I'm exhausted. I am spent. And I just wanted to know, who else does that? Do you put on your happy face when you are dying inside? And then after last week, going back to last week, Saturday, when I got home and I was thinking about the evening, and I thought, oh God, I should have, I then felt guilty. I felt like I should have enjoyed myself more. I felt like, why didn't you enjoy that moment? Because you don't know if you're going to have that moment again. And I really beat myself up about it. So that Monday, which was last week Monday, it was my first day back at one of my other jobs, because I got more than one job. Yes, fingers in many pies, but anyway. And a couple of my other work colleagues, they were like, oh yeah, Jemima, long time. Because some of them I haven't seen since February of this year. And they were like, oh yeah, Jemima, how you been? And I thought to myself, it was like at that precise moment, it's like everything froze. And I thought I could either say, yeah, oh my God, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Is everything okay? Or I could be like, no, I'm not doing too good. I'm just feeling a bit fed up with everything. I'm finding life a bit challenging right now, just like many other people. And I feel like I'm surviving each and every single day. Now, what the hell do you say? And have a guess as to which I decided to do, A or B. Yo, I did B, I did B. And this is where talking about mental health is so important. Now, okay, I did B. I expressed how I felt. Obviously not in that way. I kept a little bit back. And I just said to, this lovely lady who was asking me, we're work colleagues, I just said to her, yeah, I've been surviving. I found it a bit challenging. And, but I'm glad to be working. I'm glad that I've got another job, to come to. And how have you been? Now, maybe it's just me. But she was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I've got this, I've got that. She was talking about one of her, I think it was her son who was having a baby. And is this selfish of me? I kind of felt like, So you don't really care how I'm doing. You're just saying it for pleasantries, which is fine because we all do that. But if this was me and somebody that I work with, regardless of how close we are, somebody said to me, if I've asked somebody, okay, how are you? And then they've gone, oh, you know what, I've been struggling and, you know, haven't really been myself. I'm not now going to say to that person, oh yeah, oh, you know what, I went to the Brasserie of Light last week Saturday and I had a lovely time. I'm not just going to scoot over that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to pretend that I didn't just hear what I just heard. Does that make sense? I would actually be like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Do you want to talk about it? And if they don't, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to push it because I know how frustrating that can be when you're not ready to talk about something, you know. But I'm not just going to scoot over what they've just said and then carry on talking about myself. And I know that this person didn't do it in a malicious way. I truly feel that they did it because they didn't know what to say. And this is why I always say that mental health is so important to talk about, regardless of whether you are struggling with your mental health or not. You know, the conversation needs to be had from when you were a child up until you die, basically. That sounds a bit morbid. Does that sound morbid? I just think it needs to be spoken about. So anyway, showing up or showing your happy face, I think that I do it quite often. And I have to admit that since the ending of October, when I hit my depressive episode, I've been quite honest. I've been quite honest about how I've been feeling. When my family have asked me, like my mums know everything. My mum's seen a change in me. I think my friends have seen a change in me. No, they have. My new girlfriends that I went to Brasserie of Light with, obviously we're still getting to know each other, and that's where I really showed my happy face, because I just thought as well, oh God, I don't want to really express to you guys that, yeah, I do struggle with anxiety, and it doesn't happen as much as it used to happen with my depression, but I do have bouts of depression where I get low, and I thought, I kind of like want to make new friends, so I don't want to, show that side just yet. I'll show you in about 2 weeks' time. But yeah, I'm trying my best not to show my happy face when I'm a mess inside, and I'm thinking, well, why should I, or why should we, if any of you guys out there show your happy face? Why is it that we have to hide away and pretend that certain things in life, everything is fine, everything is perfect? Because the reality is, things are not perfect. Especially now, or this year, things have not been perfect. And I think as well, and this is just my mind, I kind of think that the more of us who open up and say, you know what, I am struggling, I am finding it difficult, this is how I feel, the more people will talk about how they're feeling. Because I'm pretty damn sure that my colleague who asked me last week, how have you been? Haven't seen you for a long time. And the response that I gave her, if more people spoke like that and they were honest with their feelings and their emotions and where their mind is at, I'm pretty sure that she would tell me how she's feeling. And that's where we connect. And then you kind of build your confidence up, and it also makes you feel a bit good. I've said this before, when you express how you're feeling and the person that you're saying it to says to you, you know what, yeah, me too. And even if they're not saying me too, they're listening. They're not passing any judgment, they're not passing any shame, nothing. They're listening to you, and they're like, you know what, if ever you need to talk, call me. If you don't want to talk, but you want somebody that's there, text me. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It made sense in my head. I don't know. But yes, I'm trying my very best not to show my happy face when I'm not happy. Not that I'm crying all the time. Well, privately, yes. Yes, I am crying. But I'm going to resist showing my happy face. And I'm kind of encouraging anyone else out there who's listening to me right now. Speak your truth. Don't be afraid. Don't feel guilty for the way that you feel inside. You've got nothing to feel guilty about, I think, anyway. Your feelings are your feelings, and your feelings are valid at the end of the day. But anyway, guys, that's my time. You've now spent 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 16 minutes with me. I appreciate it. I hope all of you are going to have a really lovely Christmas. I do. And for those of you, if you're living in the UK, we've been plunged into tier 4, which basically means no. I think it's no. Do you know, I don't even know what the blood clot tier 4 means anymore, Like, I actually have no idea. Guys, I hope you have a lovely Christmas. If you are by yourself, do you know what? I'm not exactly going to be traveling anywhere. I'm going to be at home. I've mentioned this before. I am on Instagram. DM me if you want to have a little chat. DM me. I'm always here to have a little chat. Remember that you're not alone. Remember that there are more people this year that are struggling. And I'm just hoping, wishing, praying that as we are coming into 2021, I'm just praying for the strength, for endurance, for all of us, so that whatever the new year and the subsequent months have for us, we have the strength to be able to endure and come out on the other side. So guys, as usual, if you want more content, do you know what? I can't actually speak. I can't speak. If you want more content from me, follow me on my Instagram page, which is the same as the podcast title, Our Minds 2020. I'm going to be uploading the final episode of this series of podcasts. Does that make sense? Basically, the last episode is coming out next week. Same time, 6 p.m. And we're going to be talking about entering into the new year and why it is I don't like the new year. Hopefully that will change, but why I don't like it. So as always, guys, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and go live your life. God bless you all. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.